Welcome everyone to Dragon Quest FM, where we talk about and obsess over Dragon Quest. I'm Austin,
I'm BJ.
and this week we're going to get BJ's early thoughts on Dragon Quest II HD-2D Remake.
Mm-hmm.
Since y'all heard me talk about it a ton in previous weeks, this is BJ's time to shine. Um,
Oh,
and before we do this, though, I
right.
meant to tell you this before we hit record, and now we're
Now
hit
it's just
record. It's too late, so I'm going to tell you. But um, I Naomi, um, today's her day that she goes to Fusion,
right.
and anyway, she was going to tell the kids about how I was called Chicken Prankster in college because you helped me convince her
I'm so
in
glad.
college. Yeah,
I'm so glad
so.
that she believes that you guys. I had Austin's daughter called me yesterday to check on a lie that Austin had to convince her that his nickname in college was Chicken Prankster. And I knew because he had texted me earlier that I might hear from her and that if I did, just go with it. And so I did. And Jennifer was in the other room listening and she was like, wow, you're a good liar. And but it's like that's the worst nickname ever. Like I
It
love that
is.
she's old enough to where like she can get into this kind of thing, but also still young enough that she will believe that that is the nickname. I love it. That
That's the thing is that I was just kind of I mean I was making it up off the top of my head as it was
yeah.
happening. What happened last night? We're eating a casserole, which we don't really eat casseroles very much
Yeah.
because I mean I'm lactose intolerant and most casseroles use like sour cream and cheese and other evil things, evil delicious things. And but anyway, so there was like I guess the recipe we used this time had cream of chicken soup in
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
So there was like little pieces of chicken that showed up on occasion. And so I told her, I was like, yeah, I was like, I snuck that in there. It's a prank. You just got pranked. And she was like, what? Why is this a prank? You put chicken in my food. And I was like, that's just what I do. I was like, it's why they called me Chicken Prankster in college. And she was like, no one called you that. And I was like, and she's 9, by the way, for
So
anybody wondering.
she's very precocious about stuff
And
like this, especially.
And I was like, yeah, that's what they called me. And Grace, my wife, sitting right beside me, she's like, yeah, that's true. She was like, why do they call you Chicken Prankster? And I was like, well, one night, I was like, the cafeteria at the college was getting ready to, make a nice big Thanksgiving meal. And, I snuck up there the night of and I replaced all the turkey with chicken. And then
Ridiculous.
the next day, I was like, y'all just got chicken pranked. And so people called me the chicken prankster. And so yeah. So and
Oh.
now it's kind of like a thing. So I feel bad because it's a complete lie. But
Don't feel bad. Don't tell her the truth.
I'm just waiting because my dream is that she's gonna be like 25,
Uh-huh.
whatever. She's gonna bring like a future spouse or something over to the house and somehow it's gonna be brought up at some point. We're gonna have forgotten about it, and she's gonna be
Hmm.
like, "Yeah, they called my dad chicken prankster in college," and then
I
I'm gonna
can't
be like,
wait.
50. So it's more like a payoff for like future Austin.
Yeah, where this is something that's going to be, we hope, is going to be a core memory of this child learning that you had the worst nickname of anybody in college.
And so, okay, I promise we're going to talk about Dragon Quest, but really quickly. So, talking about core memories and all, still to this day, like Daniel, Grace's youngest brother, brings up the time that I convinced him that I was his imaginary friend Ding
From the
from the
future.
future. And that Daniel and Ding had run as for president and vice president on a ballot in the US and had won.
Like you made social media accounts to be
I
able to
did.
talk to him to do this. Like it was a whole thing too. Like your pranks always go to right to the line where they're almost harassment, but it's also where they still remain funny for the person that they're happening to, which keeps them pranks.
That was just it was hilarious. And the thing that worked so well with like Ding is Grace and I we were engaged, but we weren't married yet. So
Yep.
she was living at home still with Daniel. And so Daniel had done something where he was like, "Oh yeah, if you're from the future, tell me where I hid my shoe on, October 11th or whatever. And and so Grace texted me and was like, it's in the hallway closet. And I was like, it's in the hallway closet. Except the thing that makes this even better is his imaginary friend Ding is a dog, okay?
Right.
And he talks. I can't do a really good impression, but it was very elaborate for a child. Like I'm infinitely always impressed by this. But anyway, he was like, he always talks in kind of like a high-pitched voice where he's like, me thinks me have me hiding in closet, that kind of thing. And so I was typing it all out like this, right? Because I have to be Ding,
Right.
which is short for Ding Dong Precious, which is the best name for a dog of all
It's
time.
true. Ding Dong
An
Precious.
imaginary talking dog of all time. And anyway, yeah, so like he still brings that up sometimes when I mean he's like in his 20s now. And so he'll just like bring it up sometimes about about that, or like maybe Grace's parents will, because like Grace's mom knew about it because I was
Yeah.
about to like prank their little like 10-year-old
Yeah.
brother, just on my own. But Grace's mom like knew about too. It was kind of like helping me with stuff, and she was like, tell him what magnets are on the fridge today. And so like yeah, anyway, that was a good. Also, he had a catchphrase, Ding Dong Precious did, where his voice would change. It was "Ain't no rush," but his voice would change, and he would go,
God, ain't no
"Ain't
rush.
ain't no rush." And to this day, sometimes when my like wife and I are like in a hurry to get somewhere, one of us will be like, "Ain't no rush." As I mean, it's seriously been like 15 years.
Yeah, this has been so long. Like this was when you and I met, like when you were still early in college, you were telling me about Ding Dong Precious. Like that is great. Oh God. I can't I'm making myself cough now. I may have to mute my
He's muting because
but
he's coughing. People who
I
are
was coughing
not
because I was
watching.
laughing at everything. But man, those kind of memories, I'm glad that he remembers that so well. I'm only sad that he doesn't still think that he's running for president with Ding Dong Precious as his running mate.
Yeah, I mean, he would still have a little ways to go because I did the math because because I was like, okay, like 45 is probably a good age,
Yeah.
like early age to be president. So I was like, I had to do it, off of when he was born and
Yeah.
all
Like
that, and what would be an election year, because I knew he was smart, so I knew he would probably Google about election
about
years
which
and stuff.
election year it would be. Yeah,
Yeah,
he is smart, so he would definitely have done that at like 10.
yeah.
That's like Naomi having to check your sources for chicken prankster. I was about to say chicken president, but that would be something completely different. Man, we got to figure out a way to make you the chicken president. Um,
Soon.
so, so yeah, so those of you stuck with us, we really appreciate that. That you've listened to us reminisce about pranking his brother-in-law and daughter.
So like
Uh,
5 years later, we're finally
it's
done talking about that stuff. So Dragon Quest 2.
DQ2, right? So I'm mad.
Yeah,
I'm
tell us
mad.
about it.
I got this is a really good game. Like DQ2, the more I've played DQ3, I told Austin this, and I don't remember if I said it on the podcast. I don't think I like the DQ3 HD-2D remake. I actually don't think I like Dragon Quest 3 that much. And this is where all of the hate mail comes in and we lose like everybody who's listening. And but it's like the game it's hard for me to get into. There's a lot about it that is excellent that I can understand objectively is excellent, but it just has never on any platform clicked for me to really just draw me in all the way. DQ2 did it within the first like half hour. DQ2 HD2D remake is there's something about it the way that it starts out with all of the different kinds of cutscenes at the beginning, talking about all the characters that it going through, all of the lore for the world, talking about stuff. It drew me in immediately, and for the
Mhm.
first time in a long time playing an RPG, I didn't want to skip through the cutscenes. That I didn't want to just rush and get on to the thing, and it's taken a while. Like I don't know if it's my attention span for games or what has happened, but it's like, come on, let's get to the part where I'm actually playing. These I was
Yeah,
not super interested in from the beginning, even knowing what they were talking about and was going to happen. So I loved it from there, and I think part of it is also on the PS5 that it runs better than it did the DQ3 did on
because
Switch.
because you
And
complained about the delay and like
yeah,
DQ3 load times like
a
a year
lot.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And now playing this on PS5, it is definitely a better experience. Even going back now to DQ3 where I am and going
Mhm.
through and playing it more, it's harder to go back because of now playing this on PS5. And I think that the graphics are great. They're beautiful, they're vibrant. The gameplay is really solid. Like it doesn't feel over overtuned like DQ1 does. It doesn't feel like there are too many encounters yet. On where I am, I haven't gotten into the the post game stuff where you were wanting to rip your eyes out, but it's
And it wasn't, just to be clear, it wasn't necessarily because of the encounter rate that I wanted to rip my eyes out. It was just very specifically the Cave of Confusion and taking the wrong like exits and having to start back
right.
over and everything. So,
So yeah, so it didn't make me want to put like have to get something and constantly use holy water to run around a dungeon or something like that. It was like, oh, I'm gonna go through these encounters. I'm gonna fight these. I'm gonna use stone throw and let Canic throw whatever AoE wants to or whatever it is, and get through it. I go through. I'm enjoying all of the. I'm actually enjoying the traipsing back and forth between the different areas to start out with and getting the party filled out. I'm liking the little quests and stuff I'm having to do. I love exploring every aspect of the dungeons, running around, finding mini medals, and just exploring all of the woods on the map, trying to find the different little secret areas in there.
yeah.
Like, I love this kind of thing. Like, I'm genuinely having a good time, and I'm loving that it auto saves after every battle where I don't have to return to town nearly as often to
Yep.
save in the adventure log. And so a few days go by, maybe a week or so, and I finally get back on. We had been really busy. There's a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of contract work like all at once that I'm writing a lot of adventures and things like that, which is great that I'm exceptionally lucky on that regard.
That's
And
called a
so
complainer brag.
it is a complaint to brag, a humble brag. But so like I'm super busy and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna play DQ2, right? I'm gonna go in. I'm here. I finally have a few minutes. I'm gonna get onto DQ2. I go through the load screen, everything. It had already, moved into the background of the PlayStation,
Mhm.
not keeping it up as the game. And I go and I log on and I'm like, oh, this is where I thought I was. And I just went on and I played and I fought and I kept going. Then I went to somewhere else and I was like, oh, I thought I'd done that. That I where you lower the water in the thing to be able to traverse down through the dungeon and get to the other side. And I'm like, I thought I had done that. I guess I was still working on it. So I went through and I went back up and I was like, oh, I've been there. Go up, get into the dungeon, and there are a couple of people who are dead on the ground. And I'm like, this seems familiar. Then I go through and I'm like, I've done this dungeon before. And I get through into the second area and I'm like, I fought that boss before. And I'm like, I got way past this and I realized I started from an adventure log and I didn't start from the autosave and it overwrote like 4 or 5 hours of gameplay that I had done, and I got mad. Like I got so mad. And this was what 3 4 days ago, and I have not logged on since because I got so mad at having to redo so much of the game
And
that
it's karma.
karma.
Explain to everyone why it's karma.
Because when we were talking about it, I was talking about how autosave keeps you from having to do all of this and that it's okay to rely on autosave. And then I'm dumb.
he
I do a dumb
literally
thing.
he literally made fun of me for
Hmm.
being like skeptical of autosave
Autosave.
like 2 weeks ago, and then
Yeah.
2 weeks later here we are. And the reason, here's the thing though, man, is like that, maybe not to that extent, but like that kind of thing has happened to me before. And even like
Yeah.
even in, I can't remember if it was 1 and 2 or 3, but it's been in one of these remake games. Even one of those, when I'd use the like quick save to just stop for a minute and then come
Yeah.
back, I didn't boot up that one. I used a different file and I was like, wait a minute, I'm
Yep.
ahead of here. And so what I started having to do mentally, even like when I was playing two just recently, like a
Hmm.
month ago, I would check the timestamps because sometimes I would forget
Yeah.
and I would be like, okay, this one says I'm at like 13 hours and 5 minutes.
Uh-huh.
This one says I'm at 13 hours and 13 minutes. So that's the one I'm gonna boot up. And I would have to just like do it
Yeah.
that way because I've gotten myself in trouble doing that kind of thing before.
I did, and I am so mad at myself. I'm a little mad at the game
It's not the
because
game's fault.
no, 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 hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. I'm a little mad at the game because usually whenever there's an autosave, and a lot of games I've played, there's when there's an autosave that is takes precedence over the save file, it will start your cursor on use the autosave, and instead of being on like the adventure log for the main save. And this one, I just went through pressing the button through, just trusting, I saved and didn't. It's like if it had an autosave or quick save, a lot of times it starts the when you're going back in, it'll highlight, oh, you have a memo save. I know Final Fantasy games did that for a while. The ones I played on mobile at least did.
So like you legitimately like lost like 4 to 5 hours?
Yeah, yeah. I'm very mad. I
You
want to say that I was at least 3 hours. It was at least 3 hours. Where
it
it's not unheard of. It's not even that it's going to be hard to go back through. It's just I'm mad at me and the game for doing that, and it is straight up me payback for me. I jinxed myself on talking about you and the save, but the game itself is great. That I'm loving everything about the game so far.
Yeah. I mean that's good. It pains me to think that you have not that you went like at least 3 hours without even manually saving
Yeah.
it. Like it
And
makes
I
my
thought
tummy
I
it makes
had.
my tummy hurt a little bit.
That was the thing. I thought I had. I thought I had gone back into town and saved it because I'm usually pretty diligent about doing that. That
Yeah.
anytime I see a settlement on on the map when I'm running by, I'll stop in at the church and go and do it. This time, apparently, I was just so engrossed in traipsing back and forth and doing like getting through the party building aspect of it and moving on with the story that I did not, and grinding a little bit. Like I know a lot of it was that because I was when you get the new party members, they're at lower levels than the hero is. So I'll spend some time around the new areas grinding up and getting more levels on them at the very beginning. Anytime
Mhm.
I ever get a party member, I do that in any game. And so all of it, and it may not have been that I even moved that far ahead in the story. It was just that the time I'd sunk into it, I was close to I was close to I want to say I was close to 8 hours or 8 hours in at that point, and I haven't played a whole lot of it yet. And I lost and I was back at like 4 or 5, and I was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, that stinks.
it was stinky, and and it's my fault. It is 100% my fault. Well, it is 97% my fault that that it happened that way. And like that 3% where if they had just put the cursor down a little bit, it would have been good.
So the reason I stopped trusting autosave BT dubs is I think I may have even told this story already years ago. But anyway, um Fallout 3, when Fallout 3 came out,
Yeah.
poor, younger, naive Austin was just like, oh, the autosave seems really good.
Hmm.
Every time you teleport around, it autosaves for you. I'm just going to rely on that.
Yeah.
Autosaves are the future. And I got into a part where I'm I'm exploring like a subway
Okay.
line and I'm like on the train having to go back to the very far back. I think maybe to get like a Pip-Boy statue or
Mm.
something. Fox is with me. Best companion, Fox, the behemoth, super mutant.
I remember you telling me about.
And he's the super mutant. And anyway, he's there with you, and he of course follows me. I turn around to leave, and he's just there, and he won't get out of my way. And I struggled with it and could never get past it. And because I had relied on autosave, it auto saved me. Something about it had auto saved me inside. of there because like the collectible I got, I think it was a Pip-Boy statue,
Oh.
like triggered an autosave. So because of that, I was just like legitimately stuck there.
Oh
And I
no.
was like
Yep.
furious. And so like it's kind of like even to this day, talking about core memories, like even to this day sometimes because my brother was really into Fallout 3 with me too, my younger brother. And even sometimes he'll still be like, I don't really trust autosave very much because I remember that time you got stuck on that train with Fox. And I'm like, yep, I sure
Yep.
did.
That
Where like it
man.
stuck with him too, where we just
Where
don't
it
believe in
just put
technology.
fear in you to do
Yeah.
that. But and I'll not trust it at all for this point on. But I also now know not to trust my adventure logs either. That there's a really good chance that even after I save at an adventure log, that I'll have an auto save to go back to
Yeah.
that and loading that. So I think I'm going to be safe at this point moving forward
I think
after
I think
making this mistake.
I think autosave is good for like insurance, but not to like rely on.
Yeah.
Right? It's like if a hurricane is coming to my house, I'm not gonna not shutter my windows because I have homeowners insurance,
Right.
and so like a manual save is like shuttering your windows,
Yep.
and the autosave is like the insurance there, where it's
Yeah.
like just it's nice to have that and like to
For
rely
sure.
on if you need it, but
Yep.
like I don't like games that only have like autosave only
Yeah.
really stress me out.
I can definitely see that because this if it's autosave only, then yeah, that would really really stress me out. Unless autosave only, one thing I learned with Baldur's Gate 3 is that it will autosave in different slots. That you have a certain number
Yeah.
of autosaves, that doesn't stress me out. If there is a single autosave slot like this one, now I'm stressed out.
And like
Now,
newer Bethesda games do that. So you kind of I guess can avoid the
yeah,
Fallout 3 problem that I encountered. Um
I
but
also love quick saves on PC where you can just hit like F5 or F7 or whichever it is on Bethesda games where as you're just running along, you save right there and you have a manual save, but you haven't gone through the actual manual process. I've never had a problem losing to a quick save slot like that.
yeah.
I've never
Don't say
lost
that,
anything.
man. Don't
God,
say it's
I
gonna
know I
happen
shouldn't say that.
now.
Like the new Oblivion will completely destroy me
Well, I
if I
was
do
thinking
that.
about just
Like
using quick save in DQ2. I'm like
oh,
something
and
could come
DQ2, yeah,
up.
the quick save when you go back to the menu and it's like, do you
Cause,
want to make a
cause,
quick save note?
yeah, because I've had to use that before. Because I let my kids use
Yeah,
the PS5, and at this point, it's basically their PS5, right? And so like, I know they're gonna play stuff, so sometimes I'm just like, oh, I need to quick save this and don't get a chance. So, all right, so DQ2, who's your favorite character with the remake now? Like,
I like the
who's got
Princess
a
of
hold?
Canic.
The
I like
Princess
I
of
like
Canic.
I
Okay,
like
so
Matilda. I think that's her name in there.
it, it I wasn't sure back when I did my episodes. I
Yeah,
wasn't sure if it was the same name for everybody or if it was like a random assortment from like
right.
five names or something. But no, I think they are like actual names, like
Like
Caradoc, Matilda,
Caradoc. Yeah, and
Paranel. Yeah,
I think she is my favorite so far. Like I really like her, and when she left my party, it made me sad. I was
I
like,
know, right?
and it also made me mad because her dad was all like, "You can't do this. You have to stay home." And I'm like, "Who are you to tell her she can go?" I was
I
like,
mean, she is a child, and
She's a
he is her
child and a
dad.
princess, and I get it. But as an adventurer, I'm like, if she wants to go, let her go. She has adventuring clothes. Like she has those just waiting. And so I was actually sad that she wasn't in the party anymore. And I kept thinking back to you, like all of her yells that during this, like you got this and things like that, where you're like, I do got this. Every time she would say something like that, it was
Yeah,
fun. But yeah, I think I like her as a character. Like I'm really glad they put her in the game.
yeah.
That
I am too. I do. Did you get the same vibe I did though, where it's like you can tell that she's been added into the game like
yeah,
this side of the 2000s,
yeah,
where it's just like I feel like her, even though they added some good personality bits to the other characters, it just feels like hers. hers feels more modern, I think.
modern, and it's probably, and I hate to use the phrase, she is a strong independent woman, but it feels like that. She's much more headstrong than a lot of you don't have a lot of characters like that. You have
In older
Aaliyah
games.
in older games, yeah.
In older games, yeah. Yeah, where she's definitely, I mean, I think definitely. Oh man, I started to say maybe starting with Maribel, but really it was probably even before that with DQ, where you had Maribel's pretty strong-willed and everything, and then
Yeah,
you have oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name, Jessica, and
even before then with
Veronica, but
DQ4, is my
Elena, yeah,
Elena, not Aaliyah. Yeah, Aaliyah's from a book I'm reading.
yeah, I guess maybe
Elena. Yeah.
Elena might be the earliest one, yeah, but, I mean, but Bianca
Hmm.
and in five and I mean it keeps going back, but anyway, that's probably a
But
different
yeah,
episode, but.
she is really cool. I like her. Although I have had a different experience with Kanik than you. He die bunch. He die
That's
lots.
so
He die
weird,
bunch.
really.
Yeah, yeah. He that was just frustrating because, and I don't know. I don't have the cat suit,
Oh,
so
because your save file is from the Switch, not the
yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah, so I don't have anything to get the cat suit or anything. So he is normal canon.
Ah, okay.
And so he dies a lot. He has very low defense stats and
E
gets hit really hard.
Even with like kitting him out and like stuff from the
Yep,
stores,
all the
he's still.
stuff that
Oh
I've
man.
bought for him and put on there, he still dies. Like he takes double the damage of the hero without the cat suit, at least. Like
Okay,
he
because
is.
yeah, because where I was at, the cat suit was the best armor. But instead of putting on Mendenhall, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna slap it on Caradoc there because
Yep.
I this ain't my first rodeo with DQ2. I know how the Prince of Canon goes.
Yep.
And so yeah, maybe that did make the difference because I
It,
really after that one initial time of him dying, I mean he died of course over
of
the
course, every
over
character
the
will
entire
die.
course of the game, but it wasn't just like I was lugging his coffin around constantly the way I have
Yeah.
in other, playthroughs of
Yeah.
DQ2.
And
So
it's
that's really
frustrating
surprising.
before you get and it's really frustrating at the point where before you get Moonbrook, before you
Yeah.
get
Right
Paranel,
now? Yeah.
that when he dies it becomes much harder. It becomes DQ1 hard for me at that point
Oh
because
yeah,
I
because
I
he's just
grew so
one
used to
person, yeah.
having all of his AoEs and stuff that he's throwing out and his heal spells that he'll throw out, but it's
Yeah. And I
it
assume from this conversation you're playing it in like normal Dragon Quest.
Yep, it's
No.
made me think I might want to go back and just play in Draki mode, Draki Quest, just to push through faster after this.
If
That
you if you do, or somebody listening, maybe they can tell me. I have been curious because I used Draki mode for like Cave of
mhm,
Confusion and like in DQ1 a couple of times and
right.
turned on invincibility
Hmm.
on and didn't necessarily notice a difference in difficulty so much as just like,
Right.
oh, look, I can't die now.
Right.
So I'm actually curious if you do this or anybody listening that's done it. If you keep invincibility off and keep it in Draki Quest, is there really a noticeable difference between the difficulties? Because
Mm.
even back in three, you couldn't toggle invincibility on or off
Yeah,
in three,
it
but
was just
like
there.
that just seemed to be what the difference was. It was like
Hmm.
you can play in Draki mode if you want, and you'll be invincible, but maybe I just don't pick up on the nuances of
Yeah, maybe
of
so.
it.
It
But
was, and I haven't done it yet. That was, but I've thought about doing it and powering through the game because and I know I'm not late to the game. Like that's the thing. Doing this podcast and having you go through it so quickly when they're brand new and I didn't get it, that makes me feel like I'm way behind on it, and I know I'm not. Like it hasn't been out more than like a month.
yeah, it hasn't been out too long, and I actually have been. I think I was talking to Platty about it, not you, but like I'm actually seriously thinking about not even reviewing DQ7
Really? Just to play it
because
like a normal person among the community?
yeah, because I really have missed that the last few releases. Like I guess the last new game, I guess 11S or Builders 2. I think
Yeah.
11S came out after Builders 2. But like playing that and like getting to share stuff online and watching like friends online play it. Like I have very fond memories of, I think it was maybe 11S about like discovering new changes with you and talking to you about
Right.
it and like Steve Whitcamp, Ryan Molina, like
Uh-huh.
like all those dudes on Twitter and like kind of talking with them as we're
Yep.
all playing through it. And like I really missed it this time where like the last few DQ games I've reviewed and it's kind of like it's lonely.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, I don't want it to come across like, wah, I get to play it
Wow, you play
early.
them
But at
early.
the same time, like, it is very lonely. I don't get to talk about it with people. And then it's
Yeah.
like, I'm kind of, when the game is out, it's like, yeah, I've already played it. Hey, these are my thoughts. But I
Hmm.
miss getting to play it alongside people.
Yeah.
And like, I just miss playing those games, like chatting with people on like Blue Sky now or like
Right.
Twitter or wherever. And just and everything where I've thought about it, where it's like on one hand, playing a Dragon Quest game early is very enticing,
Yes.
but like I really have missed it, and like I noticed it when three came out a little bit,
Yeah.
and then but especially with like one and two remake, where I was just like, I don't know that I want to do this for like
I can see that.
seven or anything because it's like I don't want to, hurry through it for a review, but
Hmm.
more than anything, like I just don't want to like. I really do miss getting to talk about it with everybody and like
Yeah.
playing it along with people.
Yeah, being like, "Oh, I saw that today. That's I look forward to getting to that kind of thing." Like, I'm really looking forward to actually getting to the underwater stuff in this one after
Yeah,
seeing so many pictures and talking to you about it. Like, I'm not nearly the sea nerd that you are,
which is funny
but
that you're looking forward to water now
I'm
because
looking forward
yeah,
to the water part. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes because I think it's beautiful. Like I think that whole area, everything I've seen of it so far is really, really pretty,
yeah.
and so I want to see it actually in live on the TV.
Getting to the actual part of it, you may have been kind of close if before you lost progress, if you were at 8 hours. I guess it depends on how you're playing
Yeah, because
and
I
like
was
what.
grinding up a bunch and not
Yeah,
really necessarily progressing some, so I have no idea where I am, but I'll
yeah,
get there soon.
yeah. Because I feel like the first time you visit is fairly early on.
Yeah,
And then, I mean, you have to go back and you have to go under the water and do
right.
lots of things like later in the game too. But um, I think if you were so inclined and playing in Draki mode, I think you could probably get through it,
Get
in
there pretty
like
quick.
16 to 20 hours. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I figure it
the
won't
whole
be,
game.
yeah, the whole game, not worrying about if I do that, and just to see the story, experience the content and stuff like that. It's kind of how I play World of Warcraft these days. Whenever an expansion comes out, I will sometimes play it brand new to see what's there. If I can get the thing, and then I wait a good 6 to months to a year and a half, and then go back and just power through all of the stuff that I've not seen through all the different patches, and then I unsubscribed to World of Warcraft again. Like that is something I've been doing for like 21 years now. And well, I guess I've been doing that for about 12 years now,
Playing
but
WoW for
playing
20
WoW
plus
for
years.
24, yeah, but doing the every year uh it's been since like 2012 after Cataclysm. But which means nothing to you, but probably means something to someone out there listening. Um but
Which does, I know because I know we're almost out of time, but that does kind of in a way almost bring us full circle because uh, you know, Final Fantasy 14 as an MMO doesn't let
yeah.
you save.
Yeah.
And that was really my first MMO. Like I watched friends play WoW, but like
Mhm.
FF14 was my first real MMO. And I can remember back in like 2013, I would come over to your house and you'd be playing on your computer
Yep.
and I'd have my PS3 hooked up to your TV.
Yep.
But I can remember being like, "Oh man, I just need to save." And you're like, "Dude, it's an MMO. You don't save." But
Yeah.
that, gave me
Where
anxiety because I was like, "But what if I
what if I
go
lose
back in and like
progress?
none of
Yeah.
it's saved?" Like, and then in the year since, I've just had to kind of trust, I guess,
Yeah,
in
of
that
course.
process. But
And it only
yeah.
happens, server reversion only happens every now and then. Like you only lose having to redo some quests or something like that every rare, like every blue moon. So it's not anything to have anxiety about, but
Or
when it happens it sucks.
or sometimes you lose your password and email address and lose a character entirely, and then you spend quarantine powering through four expansions.
There is also that which would drive me absolutely insane.
There had been enough time for me playing through it that I
Yeah.
had I enjoyed it enough. where I was just like, and two, like Barry and Dale and other people were playing online at the
Yeah,
time, and like enough people had flocked back to it because of like quarantines and stuff
right.
that I didn't mind it too much. But like literally, if the pandemic hadn't happened, I don't know that I would have ever gotten back into FF14 because
Yeah.
I was just like, well, lost all that character and all that
Yep.
progress. So
That's how I felt. That's how I feel about Ultima Online from back in the day. Like it's still going, but I'd sold my account years ago and I can't get it back. And it's like I could train up a new character. I love this game. Like still in my heart, I love the gameplay of this game, but the idea of starting from scratch in it
it just
is
doesn't.
so even though I don't know so much about it now, but it's like I know how to do this. And it's like, nah, can't do it. Can't do it at all. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to this week's episode.
Right.
We will be back next week with a super cool, super secret Dragon Quest episode. So be sure to listen to us next week. Um, and remember, you can chat with us on Twitter, Blue Sky at Dragon Quest FM, and I'm at those places at Dragon Quested.
And I'm at those places as Blue Sky at bjkgames.com and Twitter at bjkgames. And you can also support the podcast on Patreon if you'd like. You can go to patreon.com/DragonQuestFM and support us and, you know, listen to things. We have a lot of mini episodes up there that we've fallen behind on recently, but we'll eventually get back to it. And there are like 90 or something up there
There's a
anyway.
lot
So
of
there's a
them.
lot
Yeah.
there. So you can listen to those in the meantime.
Yeah,
It'll be
for sure.
awesome.
Thanks everybody, and we'll see y'all next week.
All right. Bye, y'all.